Hi there, and thanks so much for joining me today for Kineo Totara Office Hours. Today we're going to conclude our series on quiz types, and we will be talking about interactive mode quizzes. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Taylor Craig, and I'm the Platforms Consultant here at Kineo. I have the privilege of training all of our existing clients and working with sales for potential clients. I also have the privilege of working with implementing new clients and getting you guys on board and make sure you're trained on any solutions that you do, as well as the core Totara platform. So that is my role here at Kineo. So again, today we're going to be talking about quiz type, interactive mode. We're going to learn what it is, what it looks like, and how you set it up. So let's go ahead and start off as the learner. So she's going to go ahead and submit this attempt because we need her to start a new one. So I want you to see how interactive mode works. She's going to go ahead and reattempt the quiz. And she's going to go ahead and jump over here to question 1. Alright guys, one thing I want to point out is the difference that you're going to notice about this particular quiz type over all the others is this one has tries. So I've got 4 tries remaining, meaning I'm going to get to try this 4 times until I get it right. So I'm going to just select one, and then I get a check button. So I'm going to click that check button, and it's going to tell me that my answer is partially correct, that I have 1 correct answer selected, and then it's going to give me a hint. It's going to say, try again, be sure to read all the options. Now this is something that you can key in yourself, all of this right here. So whatever you want to give as a hint, you can absolutely do. You can also give multiple hints. So you'll see here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to try again. You'll notice up here my tries remaining is changing. It dropped from 4 to 3. So we're going to select a few more and say check. It's going to let me know again that I've correctly selected 3 this time. My answer is still partially correct, and it's giving me another hint. You'll notice I have 2 more tries. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try this all the way through. You'll notice that it hasn't awarded me any points yet. It's because I haven't completed it. I haven't either gotten it right or completely wrong yet. And I haven't missed my number of tries. So here you'll see I have 1 try remaining. So I'm going to go ahead and try again. And we'll go ahead and get this right on our last try. We're going to check it. Okay, now you're going to notice that even though I got it completely correct this time, I got it absolutely right, you'll notice that I have 0 points out of 5 that were awarded to me. That's because every time I tried and every time I missed, it counted off 33.333%. So you'll see when we get in and take a look at the actual question type, how that happens and why that happens. So let's take a look from an administrator's point of view and see what this looks like. So we're going to go into the quiz. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to take a look at the settings because we need to know how to turn interactive mode on. So inside of the quiz, so I am inside of my quiz as an administrator. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to go to question behavior. I'm going to select show more. Now we have a couple of options here, but the main one we want to take a look at is how questions behave, and we're going to select interactive with multiple tries. Now, you do also have the ability with interactive mode to choose to allow for redos. So what that's going to mean is that a learner can redo an attempt on a quiz question, and it's not going to penalize them in any way. So they literally get a redo button at the end of those tries, and then they can push that redo button, it will reset it, they get no points counted off. It's a really good practice method, but probably not something you want to use when you're actually quizzing your students. Your each attempt builds on the last. We've talked about this a little bit in our last sessions. Essentially what that means is that if I get a question correct in my first attempt and then I go in to take the quiz for the second attempt, if I happen to get that question again in my second attempt, it's not going to ask me to answer that one again because it's going to build on the last attempt and I got that correct last time. Okay? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to save and display because I want to take a look at the quiz questions themselves. So underneath quiz administration, we also have an area to edit the quiz. We're going to take a look at that because as far as how these hints work, it's actually on a question by question basis. So we're going to go into our multiple choice question. Hints and interactive mode work with multiple choice in pretty much every question type except for true false, because obviously it's not going to with true false because there's either a right answer or a wrong answer. So that's why. And then essay questions, it doesn't give you hints as well, right? So that makes sense why it doesn't. Where this is going to be located, it's going to be located all the way down here towards the bottom. You will see the ability for multiple tries. So I told you earlier it counted off at 33 1/3 every time I missed those questions, every time I tried to answer. Here's where you can make those adjustments. So you can say you want to count off 100%, 50%, 25, 20, 10, or 0. It's up to you as far as which penalty you choose to use. Here I have 1 hint, 2 hints. Typically it's going to give you 2 by default. You'll see that I've added a 3rd. If I wanted, I could add a 4th. One thing to keep in mind, guys, you get 1 more try than you get hints. So right now I've got 3 hints, meaning I get 4 tries at this question. You also have the ability to clear incorrect responses and show the number of correct responses. We've chosen to do that, but if you wanted to, you could uncheck these boxes, and what that would do is every time they go to try again, it's going to clear the ones they got wrong, and it's not going to show them which ones they got right. So it'd make it a little more tricky for them to complete. Okay. And then once you make those changes to those quiz types, you can save changes and continue editing. Now keep in mind you do have that hints area in all of your quiz questions, no matter what quiz type you're going to be using. So even if you use just your regular deferred feedback, you could have hints in place, but they're actually not going to work unless you use interactive mode. So that is going to wrap up our sessions on quizzes and the different types. I hope that you join us again next time. I apologize for being on hiatus for the last 2 weeks, but hopefully we'll get back in the groove of things. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'm going to open the floor back up to you guys. Thanks again for joining.